In Unit 3, Lesson 3, called Drawing in Game Lab, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to use the coordinate grid system to place elements on the screen, and you will be able to sequence code correctly to overlay shapes. Some things that you are going to need for class today is this presentation/video. As always, you will need code.org open in a tab, and you will need some earbuds. All right, our warm-up today is this journal prompt. Based upon what you know about computers, what do you think will be different between telling a person about your image and telling a computer about your image? And this video will stop and prompt you to answer this momentarily. And our question of the day for our warm-up is, how can we communicate to a computer how to draw shapes on the screen? So think about that, and again, I will prompt you to answer that question on the next screen. All right, our activity for the day. So this is when you are going to need to open up code.org. So I'll go over the directions, and then you can pause the video and go into code.org. Lesson 3, Level 2. So you are going to look at the line of code in the workspace and think about where you think the shape will be drawn on the grid. You are then going to click the program and see what happens. You can change the numbers inside the block, then try running the program again. Try to place the rectangle. Your ultimate goal is to try to place the rectangle near the bottom right of the screen. So when you go into code.org, you're going to click on Lesson 3, Level 2, which is called Introduction to Game Lab. And you're going to follow the instructions. So again, on the right-hand side over here in our workspace is where all of our code is going to go. When we want to see what is this actually going to have happen over here, we click the Run button, and then we can see what happens. So your goal is to see what happens if I change this and I run this. So start playing around with the coordinates, your X and your Y coordinate over here, and see where it changes it. Notice in our toolbox, if I hover over the option that's in my toolbox, I can see, oh, this is going to be my arguments are going to be my X coordinate and my Y coordinate. You can also change into text mode versus block mode, and there's also a version history here. So you could go back to restore a different version, look at a different version, or you could say, I just totally screwed up. I'm going to start this whole thing over. Okay, so that's what you're doing in Bubble 2. You can go ahead and pause the video and navigate into your own code.org. So now in Level 3, you're actually going to pause this video and go back to code.org, and in Level 3, there's going to be a video for you to watch on how to use Game Lab, an intro to drawing. So you can go ahead and click pause and watch this video. Okay, we're now going to move on to Level 4 in Lesson 3. So your goal is to end up with 2 squares just like this. So those directions should be in Level 4 for you. So when you're looking at the directions, it's always going to give you a preview over here. So I can see this is the preview of what I want to have happen. Here's my workspace, click Run. Oh, I've only got 1 square. I need to have 2 of those bad boys. So how am I going to make that happen? So you might need to drag out more blocks and make it happen until you have 2 rectangles in opposite corners. You can hit pause and go make that happen in your own code.org. All right, we're going to get a little bit more complex now in Level 5. So there's going to be a video part 2. So you will actually watch that in code.org. All right, so now levels 6 through 8 in code.org are going to be a chance for you This is a chance for you to build your skill level. So that's why this is called skill building in bubbles 6, 7, and 8. So in levels 6, 7, and 8, it is your job to follow the instructions on each level. If you get stuck, you can try the tips tab, look at code documentation, and as I mentioned before, if you make a big mistake, use the version history. So the version history, I can just start over if I need to. So again, the preview is always going to be up here, and you will try to make bubbles 6, 7, and 8 happen. So you can go ahead and hit pause and work on bubbles 6, 7, and 8. In level 9, you are going to practice your new skill. You get to choose which item you would like to make. So in level 9, I can choose, do I want to debug a car, debug a flower, or debug a stoplight? So notice there's going to be issues with either 3 of these that you choose. You get to pick which one you want, but you're going to have to, debugging means that we have an issue that we need to fix. So you are going to fix the code to make it look correct. And last but not least, in level 10, you will, this is an assessment level. So remember, we've talked about these assessment levels. It's purple. So on the assessment level, in the key concept, I will be grading you if you show extensive evidence, convincing evidence, limited evidence, or no evidence. So your goal is to, in the instructions tab, this is what we're trying to get. So notice what is programmed does not have the picture, the flower picture in the right-hand corner. Okay, so I will be grading this one for accuracy, that what you have programmed actually matches over here. And last but not least, in level 11, you get to challenge yourself. So again, there are some options of what you would like to choose to do. So in level 11, there are 6 different options for you to do. You need to pick one of them and make that challenge happen. Enjoy coding. Oh, actually, you know what? And also, at the end of this, for our wrap up, you will come back here, and I would like to know, in a last journal prompt from you, what type of advice would you share with a friend who is going to learn about drawing in Game Lab to make it easier for them? So from working in Game Lab today, what's something that you picked up that you would like to share with someone? Okay, and then to wrap this up, the things that you need to complete today is to turn this Nearpod activity into Canvas and then complete all of the bubbles that you should already have done in code.org for Unit 3, Lesson 3.